Dallas. Good evening. This is Anu from Toppickmedia, and thank you so much for joining. And as you can see, today is the celebration of the movie, The Least of These. This is a real life story of a Christian missionary from Australia, Mr. Graham Staines, and his wife Gladys. And it is all about the sacrifice and showing the power of love through this movie. So as you can see, this is a full house actually premiere that happened here in Dallas, and we're going to meet all our guests as well as the celebrities today to ask them about their thoughts and also the experience with this movie. Hello folks, it's a great fortunate, like we are here with Mr. Krish Dhana, and I guess he is not a stranger to us and no need introduction as well. And thank you so much for joining. And after we watching the movie, The Least of These is an amazing illustration of power of love. And as an inspirational speaker, so would you tell us, forgiveness, there is a limit. So how do you explain that?
Well, forgiveness that is human, there is a limit, but if forgiveness is preceded by love that is divine, it's limitless. So she obviously loved these people even before the act. So forgiving them was natural because the act was a byproduct of her service. And I think for us it seems bigger than life, and it is. But for her, I don't think it was. I think it was something that was a natural progression of her role and her responsibility.
That's a wonderful answer, and also that leads to another question. As like in your earlier interview that we watched, probably many of the other audience will not get to see it, but you also said that there was a message from Jesus saying that this is what was actually his gift to you and you are chosen.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it from the biblical mandate, behind every call there is a caller. So before humanity, a human being can respond to a calling, they have to believe that someone has called them to it. And the great C.S. Lewis once said, people who pick up this are either absolutely committed and totally sold out or an absolute lunatic.
So dust to dust has to be proved.
You have to sell yourself out. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for bringing such an amazing movie, and we are really fortunate enough to witness such a powerful message from Jesus. Thank you so much. And another important part and the parcel of this movie is Mr. Bhupesh Bhupathi, who is a production designer. That gives a very great structure to this movie. So we are fortunate enough to meet him here. Thank you so much and welcome. And tell us a little bit about your experience with this movie.
Yeah, thank you. I'm the production designer. My job is basically to recreate that world and time period. So Mr. Anish Daniel, the director, sent me on an extensive research trip to Baripada, where Graham Staines worked and lived. I was allowed to go into his house and take his real stuff and show it in the movie. We were blessed to have that opportunity.
So you actually have the experience of literally witnessing his real place where he stayed and worked, and
even the patients there, the lepers, were real people. The person where Sherry Rigby was cleaning up and dressing up the feet was the real place and the real tools. So it was a great experience, and that the jeep in which he was burnt alive, that was an antique jeep. We couldn't get that. So we bought 3 jeeps all across India, searched for it, purchased it, restored it, and showed it as it is.
How hard?
Burnt one of the jeeps and given that effect. Yeah, it was very hard though.
How heartbreaking was it to even recreate and then go through the entire process all over again?
The driver of the jeep was the actual driver of Graham Staines. The man in the movie is the actual guy. So when we recreated that scene, the driver broke down. He said, this is exactly how it happened. It was absolutely real. And all of us on set were crying that night. It was a very difficult time. It was very, very accurately recreated.
So what is your one message to our audience?
Always forgive. That's one big lesson we take home. Forgive.
Thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining, and it's an honor to meet you because I watched the whole movie and it brought tears to my eyes. And folks, that I don't think the person right here needs an introduction. Sherry, it was an amazing, and I have already witnessed your work before as well, and it is really, really heart touching. How hard was it for you or what made you decide that you want to take this role?
You know, really the truth of how it ended up happening was I had been praying 2014 at Christmas time, wondering what my next movie role was going to be. And a casting director, a really good friend of mine, Beverly Holloway, actually reached out and said there was an offer for me on the table. And she said, yeah, you know, the role is yours, but you have to go to India. And I said, I'm not going to go to India. And I actually declined it. And the Lord just totally kept working on my heart. And I read the script, I spoke with Victor Abraham, and I realized that this was my story to tell. And so the next thing I knew, I was on a plane and I spent 6 weeks in India, and it was just one of the most beautiful times that I've had. So, and really, you know, we always think at first it's about us, but we realize very quickly the people that we're going to go meet are the ones that actually are going to teach us something. And that's what happened for me.
When Mr. Dhanam asked you, like, you know, so what would you answer if actually Miss Gladys was right in front of you and it brought tears to your eyes? So what was your reaction, like, when you actually was thinking about it?
You know, that's exactly what happened. I couldn't imagine sitting in front of her because I just hoped that I honored her. You know, that was, anytime you play somebody that is a real life hero, and that's exactly what she is. You know, we look at heroes so differently in our culture, but she and, you know, Graham were actually the heroes. So to sit with somebody like that that's given up so much, yeah, I hope that I just got to serve her well, you know, and that I'm just honored and blessed to have been a part of it and tell her story.
My apologies for making you emotional, but it was, I am really sorry, but it shows your commitment and your real feeling towards the movie, and as well as the message of, you know, love. So what is your message after the movie, like this amazing one?
You know, my message, I think, with this movie is for everybody that go out and see this movie, share the story of Graham and Gladys Staines. They are the true heroes. They are the ones that are out serving the least of these. And it is a great reminder that it's about forgiveness. And we live in a culture today where we need more forgiveness. We need more hope. We need more people to reach out and touch one another and really love each other. We need to do that more, and we need to do a better job. And so I really hope that people will take this movie to heart and know that it's really time to serve one another and the least of these wherever they're at.
Thank you so much for a wonderful message, Sherry Rigby, and this is definitely something that we should not miss.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Folks, it's about time to meet our executive producer, Mr. Victor Abraham, and he's no stranger to Dallas. And I mean, I cannot express in words how happy we are for bringing such an awesome movie to our home.
Pick is one of the best picks that we have. I cannot but say Shilpa does a fantastic job in getting the word out there. So thank you. Yes, I hope you enjoyed the movie. It's a powerful story of love, hope, and forgiveness. We all know that. And I want to encourage everyone to go watch this movie, and you will see how it will transform you, how it will encourage you, how it will inspire you, because I have not cut any corners in making this movie. We have got the best. It spanned over 5 continents: South Africa, Europe, Asia, US. I mean, you know, we got the best out there, the talents. Even the music score also was done by the Hungarian orchestra in Budapest. So it's beautifully done. So go watch it, and believe me, you'll enjoy everything.
Well, I think we definitely just witnessed, and believing is far from, because it's already believed, and it is amazing movie. This is something that we cannot even compare to any of the experiences, because bringing back the reality to witness it all over, and it's really heartfelt, and it definitely came out one of the best experiences. And
Friends to go, because like I said, it's a powerful story of love, hope and forgiveness. Nowadays we hold so much bitterness in our heart that we're not able to forgive each other. And here she was able to forgive the perpetrators. I mean, just imagine after what happened to her husband and 2 kids, you know. So this is what the message that I would, pick up the phone and call a friend and say, I forgive you. You have done me wrong, but still. In fact, we have even started a web called Movie to Movement, iforgive.com, where you can go and post your stories about forgiveness and inspire others also. So I would encourage everyone to do that. iforgive.com. Yeah.
iforgive.com. That's what a wonderful effort to, make person to forget the past and then move on. Yes, yes, absolutely. So there is one thing that I cannot actually forget. Our, the inspiration back here. So thank you so much for inspiring him, for doing such a wonderful job. So I think the message should come from her also to our audience. What do you say?
We're so excited this day because we waited last 5 years, and God is,
God is good. We made God it
good,
possible.
yes.
That's why I say behind every successful woman is a confused man, and that is me.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, I know.
No, I said that. That's a joke.
Well, thank you so much.
They say, laughter is the best medicine, right? But if you laugh for no reason, you need medicine. You heard of that?
I think I'm familiar with that, and thank you so much for joining, and definitely wish you all the best on behalf of Topic Media. So looking forward to it. Thank you. So it is time to meet our director, who actually took us the journey of enjoyment that we just witnessed for such an amazing movie. Thank you so much for joining, Mr. Anish, Daniel, and this is really something very different experience than any other movie. This is not just like the time pass movie. This is something very emotional, recreating the real life story of such a powerful man who is giving the message. So how do you really handle this? How did you feel when you really thought that?
I feel this is a film of a superhero. In our superhero present days, our superhero flies and beats 20 villains and does a lot of things. But then here is a real superhero, Graham, who actually worked among the least of these. I consider him real a superhero. So it's not easy to tell a story of a superhero like that and then also maintain the level of emotions, maintain the level of that graph of as a character. We try to tell the truth in the story through the friction of our eye, and then we just wanted to be real with the subject. Me being a director, I know that you need to be focused with the craft, and it is a very well crafted film. So we really thank God that everything worked out very well, that way, because Skypass Entertainment has helped us to take it to another level, take it from where we are, yes, take it to another level, which the kind of, we have brought the film to this level. Yeah.
Looking at the role of Mr. Graham, and you chose Mr. Baldwin, Stephen, for that. Actually, watching his movies, he is totally opposite to character, kind of. So what made you choose him?
Actually, I should say it was Victor's choice, and Victor felt that Stephen will work out with it. I was quite keen to have an Australian actor, but then we did discuss a lot, and then I should say that Stephen Baldwin performed beautifully. He has done amazing job. It's one of the best performances. I should say that he did an amazing job. He stick to the character. He was so subtle. He was so to the point, and he performed very well. So I think it's a blessing for us to have Stephen Baldwin work with us. It's a blessing to have Sharman Joshi, who has done an amazing job. His career graph as an actor, and then amazing job to have Shari, and I think all the other characters, even secondary characters, were very good.
I think as a director, you have definitely given us the justice choosing those 3 characters to fit perfectly in the movie, and that gave a wonderful message to all of us. So after going through the entire movie, right now, It's a Fruit came out, and then we are really so thrilled, and it just brought tears to our eyes watching this. Like, there was a person who actually existed, gave his life and sacrificed for such an.
Stays with you, this film stays with you. She has seen being a partner to me, and she has seen the days from the very beginning we started. There have been many times, as a freelancer you have to break your piggy banks, because you're a freelancer, you don't have a 9 to 5 job, and you don't have your salary coming every month.
The credit.
She has stood with me as a backbone to help me out with this film, that way. So it's not only me as a director, but it is she also has. So as a point, I want to say that it's the support when you get it from your family, it's the support you get it from your production house, from everyone, that makes a director's job very easy.
Yeah, that's, I think, the power of love, the message Jesus gave in this movie as well, that like love your family and everything else becomes so easy. And thank you so much for being such a big support for this movie, and it really shows your love and all your dedication. Thank you so much for joining, and it's really pleasure meeting you, and we would like to wish you all the best and success on behalf of Topic Media. Thank you.
Okay.